All right, the Detroit Lions talent just keeps getting better. And I think the interesting thing for me on this one is I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to, I don't know how to say this. I don't want to say like, oh yeah, Brad Holmes keeps getting good talent. Now we're starting to get far enough down the line with Dan Campbell where we're starting to see these players that like, oh yeah, they were really good their rookie year. That's kind of surprising. And now some of them are taking the next step and even the next step. So the person that we're going to talk about today, well, we're going to talk about multiple, but the person we're going to talk about first and foremost today, just one, he got on the PFF's first quarter All-Pro team. All right, we talk about Aidan Hutchinson is continuing to add to his accolades, this time making PFF's quarterly All-Pro team. Look, here's the deal. I can give you all the stats. I can give you all the numbers. On PFF, he has 7 sacks. According to stat leaders in the NFL, he's right over here with 6.5. Like, he is leading the NFL in sacks. He is a guy that other teams are having to change their entire offense to defend. That was not the case with Aidan Hutchinson his rookie year. That was rarely the case with Aidan Hutchinson last year. The big difference now is that Hutch is changing pressures and passer rush grade and rating into sacks. All right? Into sacks. All right, when you take the big three combined, there's sacks, there are hits, and there are hurries. All right, when you combine your hits, sacks, and hurries, you get basically how often you're pressuring the quarterback and what that looks like. Right now, a quarter through the season, not even a quarter, he has 40. Okay, that's on pace for over 160 combined sacks, hits, and pressures. It's an insane amount. I don't expect him to keep that up. I don't. Last year, in 17 games, he had 101. So he's on pace right now for, I think it's 170. And he had 101 last year. Do I expect him to continue to go full throttle like he did recently? No, I do not. But the guy is playing out of his mind. He is having an impact on a game like a Myles Garrett. He is having an impact on a game like a Von Miller. He is having the impact on a game like a Max Crosby, like a Joey Bosa, like a Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa, even better than Joey Bosa. Like a Khalil Mack. Like these, when you think about these great edge rushers in the past, Aidan Hutchinson is playing that way through 4 games. So what I want to talk about now, when I say the talent keeps getting better, what I'm saying is it's not just that Brad Holmes is drafting good players. It's that those good players are becoming great players that are becoming elite players. The okay players are becoming great players. All right? That's the thing I think that sticks out to me, honestly, more than anything. Like, more than anything, I'm blown away by how players are absolutely transitioning. He's not the only one. When I look at our lineup, right? All right? Right here. Kirby Joseph. Let's take a look at him. All right? He flashed his rookie year. Then last year, he had kind of that sophomore slump. Did not play well. He had a bad hip. I think that's what it is. Right now, according to PFF, he is the 5th best safety in the NFL. He is the 5th best safety. This is a guy drafted in the 3rd round. He's the 5th best safety. All right? He is playing better. What about Aleem McNeil? Did Aleem McNeil go from, hey, he was pretty good his rookie year to, oh my goodness, he's been a top 10 by rating defensive tackle last year and to begin this year? 3rd round pick. All right, Penei Sewell continues to dominate. Graham Glasgow continues to be good. Decker continues to be good. Laporta showed that, yep, I'm still him. St. Brown, we look at this guy, he's a perennial all-pro. Like, it's not just players that are being drafted and they're good when they're drafted. They get better while playing. Now we're seeing it with Levi Onwuzurike. Now we're seeing it with Jameson Williams. It was just delayed a couple years because of injuries and suspensions and things like that. All right? I am shocked. Even so, as shocked as I am at how Brad Holmes has been able to draft consistently, You have to give credit to Campbell and the coaching staff for putting players in the position to be successful and then making them step their game up more. Kirby Joseph, oh, yeah, that's a good safety. Yeah, but now is he elite? He's starting to look elite, right? That's what it is. Same Brian Branch, good safety. Is he elite? Maybe. All right. St. Brown, yeah, he's a really good receiver his rookie year. Now he's elite. Penei Sewell, he's a really good right tackle his rookie year. Now he's the best tackle in the NFL. Like, that's Dan Campbell. That's not just drafting good players. That's putting them in position to succeed. Jared Goff, thrown out of L.A. And now he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. He was perfect. 18 of 18. Nobody's done that before. Most attempts without an incomplete pass for an entire game. To finish the game with a perfect 18 for 18. All right, so good to see him back. And those were not all easy throws. I want to be really clear on that. They were not all easy throws. But, so the talent's getting better. But I want to have some fun on the back end of this. And ask you who your favorite pass rusher the Detroit Lions have ever had was. All right, so we're sitting here, and just to do this, MLive did an article. This was back in 2020. I don't know if Hutchinson, I don't think he's got enough yet to crack it, but he may be a top 10 player already by the time I'm reading this. All right, but here we go. Who's your favorite sack leader in Detroit Lions history? All right, we start with Sean Rogers. Remember him, 01 to 07, coming out of the defensive tackle spot. He was a big boy, just wreaked a lot of havoc in the middle. You got Curtis Green back in the 80s. That was just right before I started watching them. I started watching the Lions in like 90. 91, 92 is really when I started going full. So all 90s, I was there. All right, that's just an age thing. All right, James Hall, remembering him. All right, sack specialist. All right, came out of Michigan, 33 sacks. Ndamukong Suh, unpopular opinion, did not like him, even though he was a Lion. Even when he was with the Lions, I really struggled with the attitude of that guy, but man, could he ball. All right, he's number 7 all time. Number 6, Cliff Averill. Loved Cliff Averill. Loved him. 39.5 sacks in the 4 years that he was here. Played well every single year. Love that he came out of a smaller school. Well, not small. It was a Big Ten school, but Purdue. All right, I thought it was great. All right, again, William Gay, don't know him. Didn't watch him live. All right, Ziggy Ansah. If it wasn't for injuries, what could that guy have done? Right, 48 sacks. Did not know he had that many sacks for us in the years that he played for us. He had a lot of untapped potential when we drafted him. I'm like, oh, that's too early when we drafted him. I don't know about this guy. And if it wasn't for the injuries, I think he could have been one of the more prolific sack players, and I think he would have probably been number 2 on this list. All right, Tracy Scroggins. Love me some Tracy Scroggins. Coming in at number 3, just always around. Kofor, again, when I started watching, was really at the end of his time. And then number 1, not even close, Robert Porsche. All right, he goes, I don't know about you. Robert Porsche sits kind of on that Mount Rushmore of Detroit Lions players. Like, he's really good until Hutch dethrones him. He's the best D lineman we've ever had, in my opinion. And that is, I believe Robert Porsche, for the longevity that he played for the team, I think you could argue he was the best we've ever had. So I just thought we'd have some fun at the end of this. But the Lions' talent keeps getting better, and what I mean by that is it improves year to year, game to game, and we need to keep seeing that this year because the schedule is tough, but it's a 3-1 start. Can't get better than that. Well, you could 4-0, but we're happy with it. All right, thanks. See you on the next one.